Hello and welcome to a new video on Nintendo Primary. It's been a while, but I'm finally back with a new video. Disclaimer, this is only speculation. Whether Polaris or Tegra will power the new Nintendo NX isn't really all that important. What is important to me is Nintendo's first party lineup. If they have a stellar lineup, Nintendo NX is going to be absolutely amazing. If the lineup sucks, it probably won't be so great. So whether Polaris or Tegra is inside of the NX, I don't really care as much. But since I'm a nerd, I like to talk about technology and speculate about it, so that's why I made this video. Also, I don't have a script for this video, so it will be a bit rocky, but we'll get through it. So let's start. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Emily Rogers, a good friend of mine, and I've been knowing her since at least 2011, which is probably longer than most of you. I've been chatting with her through Twitter, and we had a lot of awesome conversations during the years, so I think I know her a little better, and I can tell you her heart is in the right place. Even if some of her rumors don't turn out to be true, she isn't doing it for popularity. I mean, why else would she close her Twitter and only have like 1,000 followers? If she wanted attention, she could make a YouTube channel, she could have a Twitter open, and she could make up a new NX rumor or a video and put it on YouTube and get like thousands of subscribers per week. But she tries to keep it small because she doesn't want too much attention. So don't be too hard on her, but I also gonna say that most of what she said did actually come true. So with that being said, let's get right into NX. On May the 13th, Emily actually posted something very interesting about NX. It's bolded in this picture right here. NX is not using x86 architecture. Just one day later, Semi-Accurate came out and posted an article saying NX handheld is going to use the NVIDIA Tegra based SoC. This is very interesting, and I can tell you that Semi-Accurate source is not Emily Rogers, like some people suggested. So this was our first clue. Let's move on to the next. Well, 5 days ago, Eurogamer had this big story on NX. You probably heard about it. NX using once again a Tegra SoC, being a handheld and having those detachable controllers, as you can see on this image. And it also said that it has a docking station which should connect your handheld to a TV. Now, I don't really think the dock is really just a dock, or is only one version of a docking station. What if there was a docking station that had the same mainboard as the handheld device itself, and by plugging it in you get a combination of both chips, kind of not like SLI, NVIDIA calls it NVLink, that both devices form a emulated network cluster and basically become one more powerful device, which could then act as a home console. Maybe the handheld only comes with a standard dock, which only gives you an HDMI out and probably recharges the device. But what if you could buy a smart dock for the same price as the handheld, or maybe even a little less since it doesn't have a screen and a controller, and you could actually turn it into a more powerful console? I know that some people are kind of skeptical on the whole rumor itself, but NVIDIA has the technology to make that actually a reality. Some people think that only AMD can provide the technology described in the supplemental computing device patent, and claim that X-Connect is the technology from AMD that actually powers the supplemental computing device. However, X-Connect does nothing more than use your standard Radeon card, put it in an external PCI Express slot and connect it to your PC through a Thunderbolt 3 connector. That is all it does. And I don't think that the solution is what is described in the supplemental computing device. But as I said earlier, NVIDIA does have a technology that describes that kind of connectivity. It's called NVLink, as you can see in this wiki entry, which is incredibly short. But the first sentence is already basically what this is. NVLink is a communications protocol developed by NVIDIA. NVLink specifies a point-to-point connection between a CPU and a GPU, and also between GPU and another GPU. NVLink products introduced to date focus on high-performance application space. So yeah, this is basically also what I think is happening in the supplemental computing device patent. Having two components that work together, but it's not only, oh, here's another GPU, let's add some more graphical performance, because you would probably bottleneck the CPU like crazy if you do this, because even though I think the ARM CPUs could be a little more powerful than the Jaguar cores of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, but they would still be massively bottlenecked if you just hook up another GPU and give it more power. Here is another document or PDF file, which isn't actually really about Tegra, but more for supercomputing. But this particular part of it describes practically what I've been saying previously. You have 4 Tegra SoCs and all of the cores work with each other. This is a lot more like what the supplemental computing device patent actually describes than what X-Connect is. It is also worth mentioning that NVIDIA Tegra SoC's ThinSDK1 model are completely compatible with every GPU standard we know today. That even includes Vulkan, the Vulkan API. So there's really nothing that stops developers from porting games to Tegra SoC. Of course, it has to be downscaled, since it won't probably be as powerful as a PS4, but ports should still be very easy to do. So even if my idea is completely wrong, which could be, it is speculation, and the base is only an HDMI port and a charger for your handheld device, the Eurogamer rumor is still looking a lot more like a Nintendo-like solution that Nintendo actually said in X would be, than a Polaris-based clone console, if you ask me. Oh, and before I forget it, Reggie said something very, very interesting about NX last year. The idea with the handheld and the dock who gives it more power might not be as unrealistic after this interesting statement, which I will have playing right now.
Recently, Mr. Iwata has made several announcements on how Nintendo itself is being transformed, with expansion to Universal theme parks, mobile devices, and our new dedicated game platform, codenamed NX, which we'll tell you more about in 2016.
Transformation. Interesting. So putting the handheld to the dock to transform it into a home console? But oh well, we will see. But people should realize that Nintendo in 2015, 2016 is not Nintendo of 2010, 2011, 2012. So who knows what's gonna happen. We're in for a wild ride, that's for sure. Well, that's about it. You can leave your thoughts in the comment section, and thanks for enduring my stupid ass accent, and see you guys on another video. Bye.